Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Stratton again. I loved learning about the coral reef this week and talking with you about it. And while I was reading books about the coral reef, I found one book that I thought was really cool and I wanted to make sure you saw. It teaches a little bit more about the coral reef and the animals that live there. And then at the end of the book, it tells about something sad that's happening to the reef. And I thought it was important for us to learn about it, and then we'll talk about it and see what we think. City under the sea. The shallow ocean waters look calm, but under the surface, a coral reef is a busy place. Hundreds, even thousands of different creatures swim and hide along the reef. There they find food and shelter. They make their home in this city under the sea. A coral reef is a very important ecosystem. More sea creatures live along coral reefs than in any other part of the ocean. Reefs are found in many spots around the world. Most reefs grow in shallow, clean ocean waters on either side of the equator. They need sunlight and warm temperatures year-round to survive. Coral reefs look like they are made of rocks, but in fact, they are groups of animals called corals. Each coral group is made up of many separate coral polyps. In reef ecosystems, there are two kinds of coral, hard and soft. Only hard coral polyps form reefs. They're named for the hard skeletons they build up at the base of their soft bodies. A coral polyp is a small, simple sea animal with a tube-shaped body and a mouth ringed with tentacles at the top. One coral polyp can be as small as the head of a pin, but when many polyps join together, they make a reef that can stretch on for miles. This little circle picture is a fan coral with open polyps. New polyps build their hard skeletons on top of old ones. Over many years, these layers of skeletons slowly grow into a coral reef. Neighbors on the reef. Creatures big and small can be found on reefs around the world. Sea stars travel slowly along a reef's surface. Giant clams rest there too. Tube sponges stretch up from a reef like small chimneys. Seahorses wrap their tails around pieces of coral. Sea turtles swim around reefs. Eels hide in a reef's crack. In this picture, we can see the pink tube sponges, a yellow seahorse hiding in coral, a giant clam, and a sea star. Many animals use camouflage to hide along the reef. Some use it to stay safe from other animals that could eat them. Others use it to hide while they hunt. A stonefish's bumpy body blends in with the coral. A trumpetfish dives down and holds still. Its long, thin body stretches up like a tall sponge. A cuttlefish can change its shape and skin color to match the coral reef. Reef plants. Plants play an important role in coral reef ecosystems. Tiny algae live inside the coral polyp's soft bodies. The algae use sunlight to make food for the coral. This helps the coral grow. Seagrass can grow in the reef flat zone. It helps trap mud from rivers that flow into the ocean. Seagrass also provides food for dugongs and sea turtles. Algae are simple plants without stems or leaves that grow in or near the water. The reef in darkness. As night falls, life along the reef changes. Different animals come out to find food. Squirrelfish use their large eyes to search for shrimp in the darkness. Octopuses stretch their arms over the reef to feel for food. Sharks hunt for fish. Cone snails catch fish and worms. Cool facts about coral reefs. Most coral reefs are between 5,000 and 10,000 years old. There are more than 800 different kinds of coral in the world's oceans. Brain corals can live for 900 years. The Great Barrier Reef is off Australia's coast. It's the largest coral reef system and can be seen from outer space. Coral reefs are important to more than just animals and plants. They are important to people too. Millions of people eat the fish that live along the reefs. Many people earn money from fishing or taking tourists to visit the reefs. Reefs also help protect people and houses on land. They block big waves from crashing onto the shore. Rescuing reefs. Many reefs are in danger. Scientists are worried about threats to coral reefs. Ocean waters around the world are getting warmer. Coral polyps die when the water is too warm. Pollution sometimes spills into the ocean. It can harm reefs. Fishing and boating can also damage them. But there is good news. Many people are working to save reefs. Volunteers help clean up pollution on land and at sea. Some countries have special areas called preserves where coral reefs are protected. Divers and swimmers, like you, can help too. The next time you see a beautiful coral reef, look, but don't touch.